Hey everyone, RPG Rider here. So this is the not so fun part of the season, and that's where you have to winterize your bike, right? So, what you do is you open up. This place is a mess. I have to do my recycling. You open up the back, right? Take that off. That just comes off with a key. Then you take out your handy dandy little information booklet. And then this says, this is fuel stabilizer. It keeps the fuel from degrading over the winter, right? So it'll still ignite in the spring. Add 4.5 liters of gas add 15 milliliters to stabilize each 4.4 liters of gas. Then you look in your little book and you find out how much your gas tank holds. You fill it up with gas. And it holds 18 liters, so then you do your little math stuff, little calculation, find out you had to add 60 milliliters. So I've added 20 so far. He's added in 20s, so 3 20s is 60. So you squeeze it in. There we go. It's like it was clogged or something. Okay, here we go. Another 20. Oh, you don't put that in your gas tank. You don't do that. So take that out all together. There we go. Now it's working. There you go. You got another little bit. You stick that in there. And then you run the engine for 10 minutes. Right? They got that fuel stabilizer, through the lines and all that stuff, right? Incidentally, if you're admiring my Ghost in the Shell thing, I picked that up. Great, don't have rags or anything. I picked that up at a garage sale. I was driving past, and I don't normally do garage sales, but I just noticed it there as I was driving past. And I noticed a Ghost in the Shell just there, and it's all framed and everything. I went in and was like, how much for that? And usually when people are having garage sales, oftentimes, they don't know what they're selling for whatever reason. Belonged to their son, and their son moved away or whatever. And I think I got it for like $3 or something. It's just kind of ridiculous. It was awesome. Okay, you put this stuff back in. These books are really handy. They tell you everything you need to do with your bike. If you're uncomfortable doing anything with your bike, you don't do it, right? You just bring it in for maintenance, or you phone someone for advice. But winterizing is very straightforward, guys. And then you take out the battery, and then it tells you step by step how to take out the battery. But obviously I can't take out the battery without doing the fuel stabilizer stuff, right? Then you start her up. Look at Ghost in the Shell because it's so cool. There we go. You make sure it's in neutral, and that way it doesn't blast its way through your dwelling and erupt in flame like a missile. And then you run that for 10 minutes starting now. Okay, see you guys soon. Okay, so she's nice and warmed up. You don't want to overheat the engine. So then you simply rev the engine a couple of times. There's a lot of heat coming from there. Because you want to be cool. And then you switch her off. And that's it. And there's a lot of heat coming from there. Okay, and that's about it. Now, the other thing is that once you get to that part, you need to take out the battery. It's a pain. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the helmet on for it, because it's a pain. Now, it's easy to do, right? The problem is the screws. Not the screws, the nuts on the end of the bolts can fall down and get lost for eternity. So you take that out again, right? You go to the battery part. Page 30, maintenance. Battery, page 53. I'll show you what to do. I don't know if it'll keep it on. So there you are there, right? It shows you and it says how to remove it, right? Now, a battery is filled with nasty stuff. Oh yeah, in here they also managed to fit and squeeze in a little tiny toolkit. Alright. So that's handy, right? You open that up and it'll have lots of different stuff that you'll need. I'll need this, right? For the do. And I don't need an Allen key, do I? Yes, I will. So for those of you who don't know, an Allen key is that, named after Allen. And I'll just show you all very quickly. You don't need this to lock it, just to unlock it. So I'll put it in my pocket, actually. Obviously, you make sure the bike is off, so you don't explode. And this is what you do. I shouldn't be telling people this. No. So under the seat, right, you've got these, right, and those. Now, guys, the problem is that stuff gets lost very easily. You have to be very careful, right, taking off this stuff. Because that, once it comes off, can go any which way. It can fall on the floor, which is not bad, but it can also go down in the seat and go somewhere else in the bike. Now, unfortunately, I lack the extraordinary strength or super strength in riffs to lift the bike up at that point and shake it upside down. I don't have that strength. So I need to make sure that that does not occur, right? Under any circumstances, I have to make sure that I do not lose this stuff. Right? That would be it. Hopefully you're able to see some of the stuff I'm showing. Might not have the camera tilted at the right angle, but whatever. There we go. So that you've got to be really careful with this stuff, guys. Really careful, right? There. Goes in my pocket, or I put it in a, a dish or something. And then that seat just pops off, right? And you balance it precariously on something. And then you check out. It says remove the front seat. Done. Unhook the rubber strap. Oh, here's a little strap that keeps it in place. So you do that. You never want to drop a battery, guys. These things are very dangerous. Right? Batteries are dangerous. And they can explode. Right? And kill you. Right? Or seriously injure you or blind you, right? Okay, disconnect the negative terminal. Remove the battery lead. So you have a positive and a negative. You need to disconnect the negative. Now here's the trick. Your battery is on a slant naturally, and under here there's a little tiny nut, and I'll show it to you, and that can fall that way and fall down there. How do I know? I've done it. I lost one down there. Right? And I was paranoid for a year that all of this stuff can fall. That it was gonna like hook into the engine somewhere, and I'd come to a full stop while coming around a corner. Right? Look at that. It just moves, right? Like I was literally paranoid for a year, right? And I still am to some extent. So take that stuff out of there. Now this nut, right? That's the one that you have to watch. That guy can go spinning off anywhere. Keep your hand there. Guys, I've done this. It's such a pain. And when you lose it down there, it'll land there on that lip, and then it'll dance around a little bit, and it'll tease you a bit. And then you'll think you can get it. Then they put your hand in, and then it'll move a little bit more. And then you'll stick your hand down again, and then you'll barely touch it with your finger, and then you'll have it, and then suddenly it'll twist and gone somewhere else. And that's the negative. Remove this. Get it away. That's done. Done. Now you take the positive, do the exact same thing. Now the positive, because of the angle I'm on, that nut, if that falls, it's probably going to fall there, but I'm just going to be careful anyway, right? And you just take that out. Now I'm going to store my battery inside my home in a safe, very safe spot, away from everyone and everything I do. And I put it actually on a weight bench that I no longer use, and blah, blah, blah. So that's probably going to, yeah, that's going to stay where it's at. So I'm not going to worry about that. And then you take the battery out. Right? And you don't drop it, because you set it down there. And that's it. And all this junk just stays wherever. Right? Now, what I do, I don't like to have everything still exposed. I just put everything back. Right? When you get a super bike or a super sport, like I have, you know, you decide what you do with the stuff. But I stick it all back where it was, and that way I don't have to mess around, because winter's a long time. And then, come spring, I don't have to wonder where everything is. Right? It's all there, right? Now, obviously, I'm not going to leave the other stuff with the battery, right? So I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. But yeah, it's important, guys, to do this. If you don't, in the spring, your bike won't start, because that fuel will have degraded. All right? Notice I don't tighten one, then tighten the other. I get one on, then I tighten the other one, then I go back and tighten the original one. Right? Just in case I need to shift the stuff around a little bit. Now, I've got this, and I put it in the baggie, right? Put it all in the baggie so I know, right? So come spring, 1, 2, this stuff is all together in the bag. 3. Okay, that's slightly amusing. Talking about how careful I was. And I put the other nut. It was still in the battery lead thing. Okay. That would have been embarrassing. And you'd be really careful. And then after you've done all that, you lose it all. Make sure you lose everything. And you put all that stuff, you flatten it as much as possible. Because really, guys, there is no trunk on a sport bike. There is this, right? Which is not a trunk. And it can fit, like I say, a couple of credit cards on top of each other. Some miniatures here. Some dice if you pack them really nicely. I think I fit a Castles and Crusades mini player's handbook in there one time for a laugh. Alright, and you seal it because if you're ever in a rainstorm, you don't know what's going to stay dry and what's not, right? And preferably you seal it in a broken bag, right? And that way you'll lose everything, right? Yeah, so that's it. So that's the pain that is changing your battery, right? That's it. It's cool. I like it. A picture of some guy having fun. Stressed out because he doesn't want to get fired. Go around the track and look cool. Click, click. Okay, here we go. And then I got my little do-do-do, right? That's all set for spring, right? And if I don't die over the winter, I'll put this all back together. But it is winterized. Okay, take care, guys.